Okay, so continuing from my first video where I've actually exposed these people about is it because of secular liberalism that a lot of these Muslims are coming to the West? But I show that it's a lot to do with economic reasons, and of course among them you'll have those who have those apostasy beliefs where they've they're basically not really Muslim but cultural Muslims, so they really like to do sinful things, and so that's why the West is appealing for them. And to me, they're sellout, they're fake Muslims. Now, there's a person called Sia Perchelian. He disputes this. He says they're not really sellout Muslims. So listen to this conversation and see how it backfires. His arguments clearly backfire. So, for example, he says to me, for example, here's a question: why not move to Afghanistan, live under the Taliban Sharia law, or go live in UAE or Qatar? Well, maybe if they can build that country, and Rome wasn't built overnight. Hopefully, when they can build that country, then that is not just a dream for me, but for every Muslim here. But of course, if we go and live there under a Sharia state, you'd want to bomb that country into the Stone Age again. Send it back 50 years, right? So if we go there, I love it how they say, oh, go live there, go live there. As soon as you go live there, they want to bomb it, right? So it's like a trap. It's like they create a Sharia law, they allow it to exist. When we go there, they bomb it. Anyway. Anyway, I said to him, and he tried to say, oh, look, the ones that move to the West, the ones who move there, they're still real Muslim. They just think that liberalism or secularism is better than Sharia law. But these Muslims are still real Muslims. And I said in a response, I said the ones that usually do move are the ones who may have been poisoned by Western indoctrination. There are many sellout liberals. The interesting thing is, very rarely you'll find the conservative Muslims trying to jump on planes. The ones that come to the West are usually the ones close to apostasy. Not all. And I know this because when they come here, she wants to remove her hijab and eat bacon and drink alcohol. So it's the liberal, almost apostate Muslims who want to leave so they can be more relaxed to practice their apostasy. One can argue there are Muslims living in the West, and even non-Muslims, after converting to Islam, actually leave to go live in a Muslim country. For one, I know at least 6 families who have done just that in Australia. They have migrated back to predominantly a Muslim country to be among more of a Islamic environment, which is a better upbringing for their children and for their families. This is the arguments I always hear from them. In fact, I actually speak to a brother who lives in a predominantly Muslim country, and he sends me messages saying how good it is over there. He tried to then make a comment to say, have a listen here. He writes, Mustafa, there is plenty of conservative Muslims living in places like UK and Canada. They are not sellouts. They appreciate what these countries have done for them. They know what Western freedoms are, and it's there to protect even if those who want to leave Islam and not leave Islam and all this rubbish. The same people who have secular laws chasing Julian Assange for being treacherous against the state, they're not giving him his freedom of speech and freedom of tolerance, are they? They're trying to imprison him. All right, these are the same people, right? And he has a problem with apostasy. He says, if you like Islam and conservatism so much, then why are you on Facebook? Facebook is invented by the West, the kuffar. Well, for the same reason that probably gunpowder was invented by the Chinese, and despite that, you probably hate the Chinese. Now, here's the interesting thing. This is where he got completely destroyed, right? Because he's trying to say, oh, they're real Muslims. I said, of course they're sellouts. If they no longer believe in Sharia law, in fact, you call them fake Muslims and taqiyya Muslims for not believing in the harsh penalties like apostasy laws being part of Islam. For example, there's Surah 434 where it endorses the beating of women in a particular verse of the Quran. Of course, we believe it's in a mild way, and I've made videos showing this. There are hadiths that say to stone people who have committed adultery, and none of the secular liberalists believe in this. So my question to you is, do you still consider those Muslims sellout Muslims or real Muslims? And he couldn't answer the question, right? I said, answer my question several times here. Are they real Muslims or they're not real Muslims? So he can't answer the question. And so when it suits them, they're actually real Muslims, genuine Muslims, leaving, those Muslim countries, coming to the West. But then at the same time, when you look deeper, they actually criticize them for being sellout or fake Muslims because they don't believe in the hudud, or they don't believe in parts of the scripture that endorse certain aspects of violence. And I love how he tried to lie here. He's like, most Muslims don't know about those verses since most Muslims read it in Arabic. So he's saying that the Muslims who actually come to the West are still genuine Muslims, but they don't know about these verses because it's in Arabic. Bullshit. Most of the Quran is translated in English. Most of the Islamophobes and the critics use these verses constantly to attack Muslims living in the West. How can you then say that these Muslims don't know that these verses exist in the Quran because they don't know Arabic? Well, they know English now. They're English-speaking Muslims who have migrated to the West. Most of them that do come, they're English-speaking. They're interpreters for the US Army, and they come. You think they're ignorant about these verses in the Quran? And I love how they talk about human rights, right? He says, yes, religion is poison into politics. He says it's a good thing there is a separation of religion and state. So basically what they're saying is religion has no place in modern politics. So isn't that against human rights if a religious person wants to live by his religious laws in Australia or America, and he only wants to live by those laws? Right? Isn't that taking away his human rights? Right? And you claim to be human rights activists yourself. So if atheists want to run by non-religious laws, give them non-religious laws. If religious people want to run by religious laws, let them run in their own communities with religious laws. If there's a population of Muslims and it's say whatever 3 million in Australia, let them have their own Sharia courts and let them run on Sharia laws. If you want to talk about human rights, right? If Christian conservatives want to run by biblical laws, let them run on their own biblical laws, right? But no, you impose your secular liberal laws on all of them to dominate every single one of them, right? To control them. And yet you want to talk about human rights in secularism or liberalism. Liars. You absolute liars. Guys, look at the human rights, right? The human rights they're championing. Where is the human right to leaking information? The US indictment accused Assange of conspiracy to commit computer intrusion by helping US intelligence analyze Chelsea Manning, again, access to privileged information. Where is the right for dual citizenship? In Australia, you can't have dual citizenship. So where's the human rights there? This is under Section 441 Australian law. If any member of Parliament holds dual citizenship, will be incapable of being chosen of sitting as a senator or member of the House of Representatives. Number 3, where's the right to wear what you want? In France, the niqab is banned. Where is the right to burn a flag? Greece, Germany, France, Spain do not allow the flag anthem to be desecrated. Here we go. Here's another one. Where's the right to polygamy? That's a religious right. Where's the right of that? It's banned in Australia. Where's the right for religion in politics? Again, that's banned in most secular liberal countries. And these guys want to champion about human rights. What a joke.